Imagine the surprise of the boy and the girl when suddenly an old ogre stepped from behind a large, gnarled tree. He boomed, "Who goes there?" The boy stammered, "We are on a treasure hunt. We seek for gem treasure." The ogre grimaced and challenged, "Well, you won't ever get my sapphire. Mine, mine!" Until the ogre's wife stepped out from behind him and commanded in exasperation, "What good has it ever done you? It looks like it fits perfectly in the spot on that crown." The ogre frowned as his wife pulled the blue sapphire from his grasp and handed it over, stating, "You must see your part in marriage with new eyes." They turned and hobbled off as the two lovers danced off in delight with their blue sapphire. The boy and the girl now had
Gem number 3. See your part in marriage with new eyes. Think about how we see. One eye to see the world with is wonderful, even miraculous. And a second eye, and a whole new world opens up with greater clarity. Now imagine looking down on what you see with those two eyes, like a drone that lifts up above everything and has new perspective. And you suddenly have another dimension, that third dimension. Here are a few ways to look at this. You are one eye. Your husband is the second eye, intended to make marriage take on new perspective, like another viewpoint with greater clarity, a blessing. Think of a page and ink. If you want to impart information, the page alone or the ink alone isn't as effective as when you combine them together. One is solid, one is liquid, one is light, the other dark. One has a uniform appearance, and the other flows into multiple shapes. Alone, both have function and intrinsic value, but together they acquire power to communicate. The page and ink work in tandem, synergistically. Like with marriage, creating a life together they could have never known apart, brought together by God. If you were to be the third eye looking outside the box, outside what you normally see, what is really there? Can you see your part in marriage? How you would be to live with? How you would see things as a third-party eyewitness? How would this witnessing come across devoid of opinion or judgment, both for good or bad? A spouse can help you see God more clearly, and when done right, God becomes the third dimension view, a third omniscient viewpoint, a godly perspective. That may tell you, if you tap into it, that everything looks right, that you are right on track in marriage, or that you may need to adjust some things to see better. That maybe you are hogging the field of vision, or not supplying enough, or trying to change what you shouldn't. In Matthew 7:3 we read, "And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye?" If your spouse reached in and tried to grab the sawdust out of your eye, it really wouldn't work. We can only fix and change ourselves. Let God in so you both can see eye to eye. To grasp how wide, long, and deep is the love of Christ. Ephesians 3:18. Think about how we might reflect on God's nature like a mirror we might look into. God wants our marriage to reflect His nature like a mirror, so that looking with two wonderful eyes into His nature fills us with His abiding and never-ending love, which is a goal of our marriage union. If you are seeing your spouse with something less than God's nature would instruct you, maybe you need to pull out some clarifying eye drops. And here's a date idea. Go watch a play together, whether it be a community or school play or a professional Broadway production, and then go eat some carrot cake with droopy cream cheese frosting. Carrots for vitamin A for good vision, right? And see your part in marriage with new eyes.